Hi and welcome. We're here at Moonlight and Magnolias 2021. This is part of our virtual conference. We are part of Georgia Romance Writers, and a special treat today is that there are actually three past presidents of Georgia Romance Writers here, longtime friends. I'm going to introduce to you Nancy Knight and Berta Platas, and I'm Nikki Salcedo. We're going to talk a little bit about the writing careers of both Nancy and Berta and some new writing projects that they have. So I'm happy to introduce them to you. Why don't we start with you, Nancy? You have a long history with Georgia Romance Writers. Just give us a quick glimpse of that and your writing career.
There's not a quick glimpse of 40 years because I'm a founding member. I'm a founding member of Georgia Romance Writers. I'm the only member who's still active in the group. And truth be told, most of the other founding members have died, in the intervening years. And Donna Ball is still living, and she's still in North Georgia. So years and years ago, we decided we would have a wonderful chapter of Romance Writers of America. And we had 7 people. And then we advertised in the newspaper. And the first meeting that was really a meeting, we had 28 people. It was an incredible thing, and we were all shocked that there were that many people in the Atlanta area who wanted to write romance novels. And so really Atlanta, the metro Atlanta area and the Southeast, this chapter probably was one of the biggest chapters at one time, and may still be. But the thing of it is, this cluster of very talented, creative women has made this special. And as for my career, my first novel was published in '87, and I was at that time, I believe I was on the RWA board of directors, and I was also president of Georgia Romance Writers, or just going out as president of Georgia Romance Writers. And it has been my heart and soul for all these years, keeping it alive and helping people go on. And you named an award after me, a mentorship award.
We named an award after Nancy Knight several years ago for mentoring writers. The first person who I met at my first Moonlight and Magnolias was you, and you immediately welcomed me into the group. Nancy teaches writing classes across Atlanta, across the country, probably now across the world. So she's been a great help to writers. And Berta actually served as your vice president all those years ago.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about your hand in the writing community and what's going on with you.
My first book was published in '99, and it was in after 2 years of writing. So it was really fast and wonderful, and I've been published ever since. But I've had big hiatuses of no writing at all, which happens to a lot of authors. Life happens and gets in the way, and it messes with your creativity. But Georgia Romance Writers has always been a source of inspiration, and this is where you come back to fill the well, to get inspired by fellow writers, and so very dear to my heart. Being president is not an easy task, as you know.
But we're also here, and we also love the organization.
Yes.
So it's worthwhile task.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
The more involved you become in Georgia Romance Writers, in doing chores and tasks that need to be done, the more you do of that, the better you feel about yourself. But not only that, it boosts the chapter up. And when the chapter gets lifted, everybody in the chapter gets lifted. We have had hundreds of writers come through here, rank amateurs who are now Times bestselling authors. And people can say, "Oh, I don't want to be a member of a writers organization. I can do it on my own." Well, you know what? Hawthorne did too. How many books did he publish? We could talk about Poe, but that's a horse of a different color. But what I'm saying is, you never know when you're going to have a time in your life that life is going to hit you hard, and you're going to go, "I can't do this. I can't do this." And I'll give you a really good example. One of our best friends hit a really hard time, and I looked at her one day and I said, "Stop griping and write." And she wrote this amazing short story, just based on an outpouring of emotions. One of the best pieces that she ever wrote. And it was because she was going through all this angst that she just couldn't find a way to satisfy it. Writing satisfies that. You know, you can put anything down on paper or on the computer, and tomorrow, if you don't like it, you can erase it or you can throw it in the trash, but you have done something of value with your day. And you can't put a price on that.
Cannot put a price on it. And after all this time, we're all still writing, helping how we can, encouraging other writers. I'd love to know from the two of you about some writing projects that you have, so our attendees can look for your books and your projects.
Go for it, Berta.
I have started a small town romance series, very different from things I've done in the past, because my last group of books, my last 7 books have been co-written by a friend, and they are young adult fantasies written under the name Julian Summers. So now this book by a thread is on sale today. It went live last night, and I'm really excited. It's a small town romance, but with a Latin flavor, because my characters are Latinx like me.
Excellent. The cover is amazing. And I know we have a book signing here at the conference, but these are also available right now on your device. So you can go to Kindle and get this book from Berta Platas. And then you all have been writing together.
We have been writing together. We've known each other for so many years and have been friends and have never written together, but we wrote this.
We're critiquing it together for many years. The funny thing is, I knew her husband before I knew her. And he said to me one day, "You need to meet my wife." And I thought, oh, okay. And then I met Berta, and it was like, okay, you go there, and Berta and I are going to be really good friends. and he didn't mind that. He was proud of her, and it's been an amazing ride. I mean, that's been 20-something years.
Yeah, we've been friends a long time. We were critique partners for about 10 years.
I know.
Marriage, you know, to be married, to be writing together and just subject to all that. And Cursed is a fantasy, like a straight up fantasy with lost princesses and dragons, and we're so excited to.
And dark, dank castles. Yeah,
it's got a more YA vibe to it.
Yeah, every castle has to be dank.
I know.
It's not proper AC. It's the humidity is going to be off the
Yeah,
charts.
yeah. That slime coming down the wall may or may not eat you, you know.
And this book is currently available. So
No. Wait, look, here's we did this seat of the pants based on this cover. Berta sent this cover picture to me, and she said, "You need to use this for this book that I was working on." And I said, "No, it's not right. This cover needs something or other." And she said, "Oh yeah." So she came back at me with this, you know, maybe it needs this. And so we bounced these ideas.
We ended up brainstorming the story because of a picture.
By text. We were texting it back and forth. And because of that, we built a story around that picture.
When can we expect this book?
Halloween.
Okay.
The reason for that, we were going to do it. Yeah. The reason we were going to do that, we were going to do it in September or the first part of October, but we keep coming across layers, you know, brainstorming to it, and we keep going, okay, we need to go back here and add this, you know. So
Might this become a trilogy?
it has,
Yeah, okay, put it that way.
yeah.
Put it that way.
We opened up Pandora's box there.
Oh, certainly we did.
Want to tell me about this book?
Okay, this book will also be available Halloween, and it's called Destiny's Flames. And I wrote the basic book during NaNoWriMo last year, and I've been sort of massaging it, and it's going to be out. And it would have already been out, but we got cursed and had to write that.
We did not get cursed. That is the title of the book.
Yes, this is true. This is true. We got cursed. Yes, absolutely. So, so I kind of put that on the back burner, and Berta was so close to finishing this that she said, we need to put this on hold. And I said, you know what? We need to give it a month to percolate, because we came up with some really good layering ideas for this that are satisfying this story, but also probably setting up the next one.
Excellent.
Do you want to give them a hint about our dragons?
No. not
Okay,
yet.
we have a real secret thing about dragons. You just
This book,
That's a secret. You're gonna want to read the story.
That's
I
in
heard
the
the secret.
flames that Nancy's publishing later on. She came up with the idea like ages ago, and we were sitting in a critique group, and she said, "I'm thinking of writing a fantasy about a homeless person." And I said, "That's problematic. How are you going to make that? How are you going to do that?" And
it's worse than that. She not only is homeless and living under a bridge in Charleston, living under the Cooper River Bridge in Charleston, but she was a debutante. She was engaged to a guy who's running for governor of South Carolina, and she has fallen from there down to living under a bridge.
And it's because of magic. I mean, she's got
Yes,
something in her head is cannot let her be in society, and
yeah.
so she has to resolve it.
So also by Halloween.
Yep.
Excellent. And we have just a few minutes left. Sometimes you venture into other writing and creative projects. So tell me a little bit about this.
I have to have my finger in everybody's pie. And this movie is available now on Amazon Prime for free for you to watch. And our friend Yasmin Bakhtiari had written some stories for anthologies that I published a few years ago. And she said, "I want to make a movie." And I said, "We can do that. I know a director." And so I introduced her to Matt Green, who directed this. And we sort of massaged two of her stories. And then I wrote a wraparound story to pull them together. So there's actually 3 stories in this. And it's all about dolls. Yasi has this morbid fear of dolls.
You too will have a morbid fear of dolls after watching.
Has the morbid fear. That's like a common fear.
Yes. Little did I know. And so we were so fortunate that Matt believed in us enough to let us stay on the set every single day. And we would go, "No, I don't think so." And he was very willing to listen to us and to include us in all parts of that process. So we kind of got spoiled, and we love Matt. So we're going to do another movie, and we're going to do it with Matt as director.
Excellent. Well, I have turned this movie on. I was surprised at how scared I was. Also proud that I knew the creative minds behind it. So this is a movie you could watch tonight on Amazon. So the books will be coming Halloween, and
that one's out now.
And this one is out now. So we talked a little bit about By a Thread, Curse, Destiny's Flames, and also a movie, because you write romance.
Evil Little Things.
Scary little horror movie. Fun for the family.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. A friend of mine saw that, and she called me and she said, "I would not want to live in that woman's mind for 5 minutes." She's talking about Yasi, who is beautiful, the sweetest, kindest person in the whole world.
Can't trust the sweet ones.
No, and then she comes out with these horrible dolls. You know, if you like Chucky, you'll love it. You know, and Chucky has a new TV series, so this will blend right in with that.
Excellent. Well, I'd like to thank Nancy and Berta for being with me. This is a huge honor. We're going to put this in the time capsule. We should probably try to gather all the precedents one day.
Yeah.
And then make it like a horror movie.
Yeah. Oh.
In the hotel with a conference.
Yeah, it could be like that. What the movie 12 Little Indians?
Yes.
That was
Yeah.
Or Murder on the Orient Express.
No, don't say murder with all the past presidents in the same room.
No, I don't think so. Well, we can.
What happens when writers come together?
My son said, "What we went to the bank." My son was a teenager at the time. We went to the bank, and as I was there, their teller windows were 100 yards away from the bank. And I said to my son, "At the end of the day, I don't want to be the teller that's walking across there with all that money." So we were talking about. We went to lunch, and I said, "You know, Mike, that would be a perfect opportunity for somebody to steal all that money when the teller comes out of her little booth, and I'm standing there with a gun, and I take her money." And I said, "Or you could put something in the air conditioning system that puts everybody to sleep, and then you could just go into the bank and take what you want." And Mike says, "Mom, turn around. And by this time we had gone into a restaurant and sat down. And so I was telling him this, and Mike's just sitting there going, uh-huh. And he says, turn around. And I turned around, and there's 3 cops in the booth behind us. And they're all turned around looking. And Mike looked at him and said, my mom's a writer. And I said, oh, okay. But I'm sitting there talking about how I'm going to rob a bank.
Planning your caper.
Yeah.
Well, this just gives you an indication of how much fun we have, how often we accidentally brainstorm a story, and the value of being in a writing community. I wish you all could be here with us, maybe next year. Good luck with your writing career. Please check out these great books and movie from my 2 friends, Nancy Knight and Berta Platas. Thanks you guys for watching.
Thank you. Did we go too long?